Rodgers is the star player of the Green Bay Packers franchise. Weighing in at 225 pounds and at 6'2", his elusiveness in the pocket and his strong arm contribute to him being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Entering the league in 2005, he was backup to Hall of Fame quarterback Brett Favre before his retirement led him into a starting role.
Since then, Rodgers has become a star in the NFL, winning 2 MVPs and leading the Packers to 8 straight playoff appearances, including a Super Bowl win in 2010. Aaron Rodgers is a star player crucial to the success of the Packers, and this year, during Week 6 versus the Vikings, he was hit by Anthony Barr. In this hit, he broke his right collarbone. Let's break it down.
Pass rush coming, and Rodgers a perfect throw and simply dropped by Martellus Bennett. It would have been a first down, and Rodgers is hurt.
He took a big hit at the end of that play just as he got it out, and it looked like he might have landed on that right shoulder. That's Anthony Barr.
Aaron Rodgers initially walked off the field under his own power, but was later carted to the locker room for a diagnosis. The Packers originally stated that he suffered a right shoulder injury and would be questionable to return to the game.
Rodgers was later diagnosed with a broken collarbone and is likely to miss multiple games of the NFL season, returning around Week 15. The collarbone's main functions include attaching the arm to the rest of the body, protecting the underlying neurovascular structures, and transmitting force from the upper limb to the axial skeleton. A broken collarbone can either be repaired non-surgically with rest, physical therapy, and medication, or can be repaired surgically. Rodgers opted to undergo surgery to repair his broken collarbone instead of letting it heal on its own, and 13 screws were used in the operation in order to keep the bone in place.
The injury that Aaron Rodgers suffered was similar to the time when he broke his collarbone back in 2013, where he missed 7 games due to the injury.
Pass rush coming, and Rodgers a perfect throw and simply dropped by Martellus Bennett. It would have been a first down, and Rodgers is hurt.
He took a big hit at the end of that play just as he got it out, and it looked like he might have landed on that right shoulder.
So since the hit with Anthony Barr did not break his collarbone, what did break his collarbone was Aaron Rodgers falling upon his arm, his outstretched arm. And so to calculate the force from this impact, we can again use F equals ma, where we have that the acceleration is just going to be equal to the gravitational constant, which is 9.8 meters per second squared, and the mass is their combined mass, since Anthony Barr falls on top of Aaron Rodgers at 200 kilograms. So what we can see is that the force is going to be equal to 200 times 9.8, which is going to be 1960 newtons, which is mostly going to be transferred to his collarbone and is much greater than the 960 experienced from the initial hit, which is why Aaron Rodgers broke his bone from falling on his outstretched arm. So Mr. Memora, what would you do if you suspected that someone had broken their collarbone?
I definitely would stabilize the arm against the torso to reduce the movement from the shoulder.
Okay, and so what are some good recovery options for a broken collarbone?
Definitely rest. I would definitely do some shoulder exercises, lightweight, probably resistance bands, nothing too heavy.
Okay. And finally, are there any ways to prevent a shoulder injury or to strengthen it to prevent an injury?
Unfortunately, there's really no way to prevent shoulder injuries, especially in sports like football where there's some major contact.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Memora.
Yep, no problem.
Since Aaron Rodgers' injury in Week 6 versus the Vikings, they have gone a staggering 2-5 without their superstar Aaron Rodgers, and the Packers will need to win out in order to make the NFC wildcard spot. Rodgers is expected to return Week 15 versus the Panthers, which means they'll need a win versus the Browns without Rodgers, which is very likely. Rodgers will need to pull off 3 big wins in order to have a chance at making the playoffs this year. With Sports Science, Bo Spindler.